And we are live on Out of the Box podcast. I'm your host, Jim Andre, my co-host, Bradley Powers. And we have Jim Mike McFarland with us, and we're expecting guest Vic Makaroff to join us as well. How you doing, guys?
All right.
Yeah, hi there, Jim. Thank you for having us. And hi there, Jim, Mike McFarland, and Jim Andre's in the house. Time to get grounded.
I'm fixing to ground. As soon as they get me out of this hospital, I'm going to ground my ass at the house.
Highly Evolved Love is with us.
Hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, hi there,
David
Chris.
Daly.
Thank you for joining us on the last show, by the way. Thank you.
Hi, David Daly. Parafam Entertainment Channel. How you doing?
Oh, hi there. Hi there, Parafan. Thank you for joining us. Pleasure to have you near us.
And here's Vic. Vic is with us.
Hello,
Whoop,
all.
whoop. Oh, Vic's in the house. I'm glad you made it, Vic. I thought you was having a bit of problems there.
I was
I
having a
thought you
few
got
problems. I
abducted
got
again,
through.
actually.
I was having a few problems. Got through though.
So what's new, fellas?
Not
What's
much.
new? We've all got beards. Been waiting so long for the next show. Our beards are grown. So, yeah, we're talking about a variety of things, and I reckon we'll be talking about ants, which Jim has actually made a very relevant point. And the question is, are ants more intelligent than humans? Which is a valid point, because they work they work together.
That's right.
Well, ants do go to war with each other as well, don't they, Jim?
Well, I mean, as a collective in their community, if you have 1 million ants in one community, they can get along in harmony. See, they work together like a well-oiled machine. You have family members that live in one house that can't get along together. So my question would be, how can 1 million ants live in harmony with a brain 1/1,000th the size of man's, but yet with the intelligence that man possesses, he can't do the same?
Not all man's the same though. Most of humanity is pretty good. You gotta have faith in humanity. You can never give up on humanity. As a human collective,
Vic. Yes, I like that. I'm glad
you can't give up on the human collective called humanity. Individual people might have issues and problems.
The point is we give up on ourselves.
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
I don't either.
Well, the end result. But what is the end? What is the end result? See, in other words, them ants are living in perfect harmony with nature. Man isn't.
No, man isn't at the moment. The man should be.
Man never has. Man has never lived in harmony with nature.
Yeah, man should. I agree with you. Man should.
Nature. He wants to rule nature. See, his mistake is that he thinks the earth belongs to him, when in reality, man belongs to the earth.
They belong to each other, I believe. They should work collectively together. That's what nature is.
But one's trying to overrule the other. For what reason?
I understand that. No, I understand that. But that's not all as a human collective. It's just some.
Have you, Vic? Have you ever heard of the term pessimistic and optimistic?
Optimistic, of course. Pessimistic, yes.
Yeah.
In other words, man, due to his higher intelligence, right? He distorts the simplicity of nature and will never truly be satisfied until he self-annihilates. And that's the exact path we're on today. Every great society that has risen has fallen throughout history. Our current day society is not going to be any different. The only difference is going to be is in how it falls and with what intensity.
Yeah, but you still can't give up on humanity.
That's right.
Well, you don't have to give up on humanity. Look, In other words, what has happened to all the missing links of humanity from primitive man to where we are today? What happened to all the missing links? This link that we're at right now, modern humans, Homo sapiens, the latest version of the human species, is not going to be any different. It's going to end up a missing link, just like all the rest.
It's a very pessimistic point of view, though. You need to be optimistic when you're dealing with humanity.
Absolutely, Vic.
History repeats itself. History repeats itself. Our current day society is not going to be any different.
Yeah. There's still not a pessimist. I believe in humanity. I don't think we're going to self-destruct completely. I think there'll be humanity that'll still live.
No. Man has never self-destructed completely historically. But what I'm talking about is the particular link that we're at right now, like all the other links that have become extinct, we will as well.
So what's this particular link you're talking about? You're talking about technology.
Right.
Yeah.
And where did that technology come from? Our intelligence.
Right.
So how intelligent?
That's a good thing.
Oh, it is.
It enhances
it's a good thing if a nuclear holocaust occurs, or they use that hadron collider to the point where they ramp up the power so powerfully that they destroy the Earth.
I'm not a fan of the hadron collider either.
Thing, right? Yeah, that's a good thing.
No. The good thing is what general living is providing for humanity, like just general technologies, like TV.
So here's a question. Here's a question for you. Why is it all of the species can live in perfect harmony with nature without currency, but man has a need for currency?
Currency I don't agree with either. I agree with you there. Currency is the root of all bloody evil. I agree with you. No, I agree with you. But I don't suspect nature lives in harmony as well. You have a look at the ecosystem, and the ecosystem is kill and be killed in nature.
Oh. A quick shout out to Parafam Entertainment. It's Sherry. Hi there, Sherry. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you near us. Can I do a quick few shout outs to David Daly? Thank you for joining us. Chris Shearer. Christopher Shearer says he is an omnimistic. He's omnimistic, neither bright nor dark. Facebook user said you shouldn't be pessimistic. The missing links is our forefathers. What do you think about that?
Maybe.
The Christopher Shearer said the missing link is in our blood and DNA.
Yeah, but that's how you get the different versions. One version becomes extinct when replaced by a newer version.
$5,000 now, but it's only going to cost you 5 points. It's another 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And I don't suspect nature lives in perfect harmony. I mean, every animal eats its own. You know, it's something different.
But that's survival.
Yeah. But it's not living in harmony. It's just the ecosystem. It's the way nature is.
When all of the species are born, they're born slaves to survival automatically. But man has got a double whammy. See, when he's born, he's not only a slave to survival, he's a slave to society. And that's all by design.
I'm not a slave to society. I never have been. I always rebel against society.
Do you pay taxes?
No.
You don't pay taxes, no?
I don't pay taxes.
Do you pay rent?
I pay rent. I have to for survival.
Well, exactly. You're a slave to society. That's society's idea. Currency is society's idea.
It's you need it to survive. I understand that, but it's the root of all bloody evil.
Well, only because society is designed that way.
Right. But but that's what was it called? Previous people, previous societies doing that, not necessarily us. We've just carried it on as a generational aspect.
Yeah, you're doing good,
It's not,
Vic.
it's not necessarily what we've done. It's just necessarily what's been carried on from other people from our previous history.
Yeah, that's right. The 1% have got the monopoly on mankind at this moment in time, but things will change, especially with the help of the internet. And the reason why there's not a world war is because extraterrestrials won't allow it. They won't allow a nuclear war. They won't allow man to destroy itself.
Oh no, no
That's why they
nuclear
shut
war.
down the. Do you remember,
they
Vic? They
intervene-
shut down the nuclear plants, didn't they, for 24 hours all over the world? Like,
if
Yeah.
and when they intervene, it's not going to be to save man. It's going to be to save planet Earth from man.
Yeah, I tend to relate to that. I actually agree with that. They're more interested in the planet than they are in
Yeah.
humanity.
Because if man destroys planet Earth, that's going to affect them as well.
Yeah, it sends ripples through the space and all that.
So they're not here to save us per se. They're here to save the planet. Because
they're
we're the
after
only
the planet.
species on the planet that's detrimental to the planet.
No, I
even
agree with
though-
that.
Even though we're so intelligent. So that's why I
just
say
humans. Some humans just don't get on.
our intelligence, or what we think is our intelligence, is actually a curse. Nowhere else in nature is there a concept of right or wrong or good or evil. Nowhere. The only place that exists is within the human psyche. Nowhere else. There's no need of it anywhere else. And nature
Yeah,
gets along perfectly fine in harmony with itself. The only thing that
That's
goes
what-
against nature is man. That's the only species that goes against nature is man. And the sad part is he should know better.
you should.
Yeah, like
But it
evil
doesn't-
eats it inside and outside. And like, but if you have never experienced evil from outside, then I can understand you disputing that. But like, evil comes from outside, and it comes from within and without as well. Basically. Yeah,
But you still can't give up on humanity.
I agree with
Regardless.
that. Jim, Mike McFarlane, you're pretty quiet about this. Yeah, you shouldn't give up on humanity, don't you think, Jim?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not
Don't
professing
forget-
that we give up on humanity. I'm professing that we change our ways before it's too late.
Oh, we
Yeah.
need to change our ways, absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't see that we're going to
Just
get
because
distracted.
Just because I spew what I spew doesn't mean that I have no hope for humanity. But
Right.
the lesson we have to learn is to straighten this whole mess out as a collective, just like the
Which is
ants get
humanity.
along, and just like the
Which is
colony of
humanity.
just like the colony of 1,000,000 ants get along in perfect harmony, with a
Right.
brain 1/1,000,000th the size of man's. And it's very simple. It's such a simple thing to do, but yet it's something we can't achieve. So that leads to another question. Why?
We're just humans are
Because
headbutting each other.
we are being manipulated by the 1%, and like, we didn't really know about it until the age of the internet come along and actually woke us all up, made us realise. Before that, it was quite difficult to actually recognise as a community that there's more than one of us actually thinking the same thing.
I'm not saying giving up on humanity. I'm just trying to open everybody's eyes as to what the real deal is.
Well, I'll give you one example. The petrodollar. You get rid of the petrodollar and the need for oil-based monies, you'll find that other systems will come in, like Tesla systems and knock, what's his name? the scientist who died, who created the UFOs and all that, Nikola Tesla,
Yeah.
all his technologies will start coming and filtering through. The need for oil-based dollar is gone. And this is this single polarity system. This is what creates all the dramas. This is what this 1% of stuff is. You get rid of this petrodollar, make it into a multipolarity system, right? All these other systems start filtering through. Humanity will become better, I reckon, and better for it.
And there's been reports that we've had signs and clues of technology in the past that are unbelievable, that we perceive as not being true, because how could they have had it back then? Well, it could just be history replaying itself.
No, the technology's there. It's just this petrodollar that governs all of us.
All right, so even though they had the technology back then, they still became extinct, and it started all over again. You see, there's a reset. It gets to a certain point that we're unable to really handle ourselves in a proper way, where it all gets destructive and starts all over again. And it's been that way throughout history. And the only way that can be corrected is as a collective. That's the only way.
No, I agree. No, I agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah. What's this? Highly evolved, and not many people like me because of my white magic speaking abilities. Just raising the spirits of my fellow people is a warmth that makes the soul happy. I agree with that, Christopher Shearer. I'll say that again. Raising the spirits of my fellow people is a warmth that makes the soul happy. I agree with that. That's a feeling that you get. That's magic. Raising the spirit is magic.
You can have all the speakers you want. You can have all the teachers you want. You can have all the groups you want. You can have all the factions you want. But nothing's going to work. Nothing ever has, historically. That should be a lesson. The only thing that's going to work is to get together as a collective. We can sit here and talk about what's right and what's wrong all day long. And talking about it, simply talking about it, is not going to cut it. It never has, and it never will.
And I agree, it has to be done as well.
Talking about it is what creates manifestations, causing ripples to occur in the cosmos. That's
but you need more than a ripple. You need a tidal wave to combat what's happening. A ripple don't mean nothing. A ripple is like a drop of water. It's not going to change anything.
Yeah, but many ripples together could cause a tidal wave.
That's what he's saying. It needs to be as a collective for things to change. There's this constant reset in humanity's history. I agree with that. You have a look at what are they called? The Lemurians and the Atlanteans, and they were fifth dimensional, and they just stuffed themselves over with technology and completely went backward.
Well, you've got to look at it from another point of view. Some people would look upon me as a psypops, or I think that's the right term, or a fearmongerer. I was admin to 500,000 members, and I was trying to open their minds to the realities of what's really going on in this world, and for them to make their own minds up and do their own research. And that's 500,000, you know what I mean? That's just me alone. And there are many people out there who've got access to bigger platforms than mine. And they're all trying to make a difference. David Icke is another one. And there are many others like him trying to make a difference on bigger platforms, opening the mind of causing people to think outside of the box, which is what this program is all about. Thinking outside of the box.
The point is, when you start getting a platform that's big enough, what happens? It gets chopped down, right?
Yeah, I know. That's what happened to me. I took Facebook on and lost, didn't I? They wiped one of my groups off the map. 130,000 members gone, just like that, overnight. They thought nothing. I thought Facebook was about building communities, but like obviously it's not.
Nah.
130,000 members gone, and that's just the start of it. You wouldn't believe how many members I've got now. Shut down quite a lot of my groups, to be honest with you. And the show and Esoteric Hours, wow. Like the platform we had for that, like Cassidy Lightwing said, it peaked at 1.5 million as far as he can recall, and now I barely pull in 1,000 members because of Facebook. It's because of freedom of speech, our liberty. That's because they don't want us to achieve. They don't want us to achieve. That's what it is.
Right, and
They don't want us to achieve. They recognise.
And that's the sad part, because they're the ones that control everything.
And look at you, Jim. Earlier, you got a black mark on your Jim Andre got a black mark on his YouTube account earlier for spreading.
Yeah, because we mentioned the vax, which we're not going to talk about on this.
No, yeah, sorry,
but that's how they control everything. You know, I mean,
yeah.
And now the power truly lies with the masses, obviously. But the problem is, as has been throughout all of history, not enough of the masses stick together to make a difference. That's what I'm talking about, as a collective, you see? So for the masses that just turn their head and they're happy existing within their own little bubble until their bubble bursts, which by that time is too late, that's fine. But nothing's going to change.
Yeah, but the masses of humanity are basically like you reference your ant history, your ant theory again, where they go to work, they know their purpose, they do what they have to do. That's the same as a lot of humanity. They just come and go as they do. They don't understand. They don't see outside of the box. They just go to work, have a poop, have a feed, go see the missus.
And that's fine. And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, but you need to elevate.
Until the little bubble bursts, at which point in time, it'll be too late.
I know. No, I agree. No, I agree with you. There's not enough people that are actually elevated at the moment to do anything about saving the reset or stopping the reset. There's only too much of a small percentage of us.
And as history has taught us, the only way that a complete reset can occur, unfortunately, the only way a new world can be born is out of the rubble of the old.
No, see, I can't believe that. I know history, what history says, but I can't believe it. I'm an optimist. I believe it'll be different this time.
Christopher Shearer says you've got to code it up to get away with it. Trick the algorithm.
Easier said than done.
Yeah.
You've got to go beyond the frequency fence. You can't sit within the frequency fence. If you sit within the frequency fence, although it's all good enough, but you won't elevate and you won't see, and there won't be enough people to help reset the bloody planet.
Oh, we are covering some topics today.
Tricking the tricksters is easier said than done. If it was that easy, we could have outsmarted them by now, right?
Right.
We're all slowly seeking ascension and raising the vibration of the planet, which is what we're meant to do.
Yeah, again, going beyond the frequency fence.
Yeah. Did you know, talking of frequency, I don't know what your thoughts are regarding this, but 7.83 hertz is the vibration of the planet. If it changes, it will install a rise in crime, suicide, and depression should it rise and go above 7.83 hertz. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
I think it's what the man does for himself. Actually, the frequency only sort of swings along with it. I think it's what man does basically when it comes to depression and suicide and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, 5G can instigate stuff like that as well, can't it? Not that it should. Yeah. Although 5G can actually heal the planet as well, couldn't it, really, when you think about it? Not that it will. I mean, why should it? And change the subject totally. Element 115. I'm just saying it because like we haven't talked about it before, and like they say that like extraterrestrials are here for element 115. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
It's supposed to be some type of fuel that they utilize for their crafts.
I thought it was a new element they found on the periodical scale.
Ain't that the element that they accused Bob Lazar of stealing from the government?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
That's right.
element that Bob Lazar was talking about.
I
Yeah,
know.
so it's a new element. Yeah.
I was watching him on an interview here a while back. He said about every 3 months they come and raid this place looking for it.
Can't find it, fuck 'em. I beg your pardon. So what is this element? What's it actually do? Is it like a metallic element, or is it like
I'm not
a
sure
period?
I'm not sure what kind of element it is. All I know is it's supposed to be utilized by the extraterrestrials to power their crafts.
Yeah, right. So it's a liquid or something, is it? It's not a metal.
I'll tell you. Okay.
Because I
It's a
thought it was a metal.
synthetic element with the symbol MC and atomic number 115. It was first synthesized by a joint team of Russian and American scientists.
Parafam Entertainment Channel says it's a liquid.
It's a liquid, right?
Thank you for sharing that with us, Jerry. There are various symptoms of exposure to element 115. The symptoms include short-term memory loss, psychosis, 115-induced delusions, and paranoia. Should one be exposed to element 115?
And the aliens what utilize it to power their spacecrafts? Mercury.
Monatomic gold as well was good for powering the craft because it's an excellent conductor of like energy, as well as being consumed prolongs your life, heightens your senses, opens your third eye, remote
What are you talking
viewing,
about, 115?
telekinesis. You can
You're
actually
talking
buy
about
monatomic gold online, but like
Yep.
Let's leave it
What sort of
there at the
clarity?
moment. Let's leave it there at the moment and go to a quick commercial at the bottom of the hour.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
And we're back.
Gail Randeps, Candy Fowler, Daisy Ten Ponies, David Nash, James Kastner, It's a pleasure to have you all near us.
These little puppies really need your help because they could change something.
Absolutely. 36 shares, Jim, so far. That's pretty good.
So that's 36 shares and counting.
Yeah, because we're making a noise. And we can't get into trouble for making this noise. Because we're not talking about the problem.
Well, never say never. You know, the powers that be can do whatever they want.
We're learning. I learned what you can do and what you can't do. Conspiracy theories on Facebook. That's a no-go, really. That's what I learned. So I post spirituality, really.
Yeah, when the government questions the citizens, it's considered an investigation. But when the citizens question the government, it's twisted around and considered a what? Conspiracy.
Conspiracy. Yeah, conspiracy.
Yes. Hi there, Jimmy Johansson. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, you're right, Jim. A conspiracy theory. And that was dubbed by the feds, FBI. Am I right?
Well, we all know what the FBI stands for.
David Nash says, yes, I'm here taking shots of 115 and glowing like Oppenheimer's eyes and Schrodinger's cat's eyes. Wow, David. You need therapy, man. Come and see Jim after the show. Jimmy John Hanson says, really listening to your discussions. Thank you for joining us. Pleasure to have you near us. We're talking about out of the box subjects, actually. Not in your
I got a
main.
message here, a Facebook user. Jim, it's Sean, Dadco Bus Station, New Bedford. We miss you so much. How's that Florida weather? God bless. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Thanks for addressing me. The weather's been great. I love the winters down here. I don't miss them cold, brutal winters up there in Massachusetts. And I hope you guys are doing great. Tell everybody I said hi. Jimmy Johansson said, really listening to your discussions. David Nash says, I have a new conspiracy theory. Y'all ain't real. Yeah, you know, perhaps everything is just an illusion.
We live in a mortality dream.
Daisy 10 Pony says, I'm real. Maybe you're not real.
Well, that caused a pause.
Yeah,
I don't know how to pronounce that. It says you only see the tip of the iceberg. But I don't know how to pronounce the user's name.
things have been actually boring for me since I retired, so I've resorted to doing this kind of thing. But yeah, I miss driving bus in a way.
You miss driving a bus, Jim, yeah?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, Christopher Shearer, I know Suck Kit. Yeah, she was having a few issues over a post being published in the group forum.
Jimmy
I've addressed that
Johansson
now.
says, what about Nikola Tesla? Yeah, he was a genius.
We need to get rid of this petrodollar. Get rid of this petrodollar, and all this Nikola Tesla stuff will start filtering out into society.
He was truly a genius, and he never got the recognition he deserved.
I saw him too. He was almost in my eyeball.
For your information, the only reason I swerve is because you scream like a little.
Because he didn't want to tap into the grid. He had his own independent systems going. Well, That's Bradley.
Guess his connection got cut. So how you been feeling, Jim? Getting discharged from the hospital today, huh? Can't hear you.
I said, we're doing all right. Sitting here waiting on my ride to get here.
That's good.
19 days of this place was enough.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, that's good that you're being discharged. That's good.
Yeah, considering 4 or 5 days ago they want me to stay a month and do all that bullshit with the antibiotics.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You know what? Light beer does suck, and I am who I am.
Bradley must have lost connection completely. He's not back yet.
That's not why.
So what's new with you, Vic? Any new experiences with the paranormal? Or?
Nah, it's still the same. I'm still getting shadows and mists and whatnot. I'm still getting all that, but it's more of a nuisance these days than anything else. It's not really scary anymore.
Well, you're used to it now. Yeah, I mean,
It's just used to it. It's just annoying. These little parasites and whatnot, they're just a nuisance. I still get the peripheral vision and the direct vision stuff like shadows and whatnot.
oh
I
yeah.
still get ghoulies walking up. I call them ghoulies walking up and down the house.
And Bradley's back.
That's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna need you to get your body just that much tighter.
Welcome back, Bradley.
Hi there. I lost my internet connection.
That happens.
Yeah, it happens, yeah.
So how long have you been experiencing that paranormal phenomenon, Vic?
It's been going on for about 8 years now. It's been going on since I was a kid, but it full on for about 8 years. It's only settled down in the last 3 months.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had an entity specialist help me out with all the real bad goings on, settled it down, got rid of some dark energies, removed some dark energies, closed a lot of portholes and layways, and it stops them from coming and going as they please.
Oh yeah.
David Nash says he heard today on the news Russia is threatening to nuke London, then the US.
It's rubbish. That's rubbish. That's just bloody CNN garbage.
Do the most incredible, once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about 8 years has been going on.
Daisy 10 Pony says less eagles and more serpents.
Terry White Kinmart has real deals on all your favorite brands, like Sustain Eye Drops,
Yeah.
Smart Track, and Tenor Pants. Get real deals every day at Terry White Kinmart. Now,
Oh. Yeah, I was in the Enkai and Anarchy group, and they were saying about Enlil and Enkai, the Bible's written about them. Enkai is Lucifer and Enlil is Yahweh.
That's one perception of it.
And Enkai, Lucifer, wished that to liberate mankind, whereas Enlil wanted to enslave them to worship and praise him only.
They reckon they also say that they created man.
Yeah. And apparently, like we are in the image of the Anunnaki.
There you go, Bradley. You can read this one off from Highly Evolved.
Yeah, Christopher Shearer, thank you for sharing this with us. I thought I was the only one. Apparently not. There's quite a few others that are voicing and making things happen. We have to make stands and defend what we know is right in our hearts. The fountain of love doesn't deceive. And from the energy of love, there is always growth and blossoming souls that grow like smooth and abundant wheat. The thistles cause ravished and choked out sprouts, causing stagnation. Stagnation brings misery. Misery begets chaos, and chaos is fuel for disaster. And we live in a chaos realm, don't we, Christopher Shearer? And who is the god of chaos? Who is the god of chaos? Oh.
Catch up on all the latest. 6:30 tonight.
Yeah, there's only one perception. There's another perception where Enlil and Enki were just gods made up by humans at the time. Enlil was the god of, say, wheat or something, and Enlil was the god of water or something.
Yeah. God Set is a god of chaos, and we live in a chaos realm. And David Ness says, I'm on Enki's side, whoever he is.
Well,
Literally, say Lucifer.
You got to question if there's one prime creator. Why is there a need for any other gods?
Anu, I think, was the father god. Enki and Enlil were brothers. That's how it works out.
Well, throughout history, thousands of gods have been worshipped, different concepts of gods. So that leads to the question, will the real God please stand up?
David Nash says Enlil is the lord of the air and Enki is lord of the earth.
Right.
And right. If Enki is Lucifer, we live in Lucifer's realm. Food for thought, isn't it, really?
And then these Anunnaki were to enslave humanity for what purpose?
Yeah.
For what purpose do they want to enslave us? To do what?
The Bible has manifested Christianity to build a community that worships and praise God. And, with his morals, the 10 Commandments, which, he shines upon. Well, I'm not religious, to be honest with you.
Well, religion is built on fear. Yeah. Fear is used as a tool to control the masses.
Didn't humanity then basically rebel against Enlil and Enki? That's why they disappeared? Enlil and Enlil, whatever his name is. Isn't that why they disappeared? Because humanity actually rebelled against them?
I think I wrote something in my wedding vows about loving her no matter what. But if it was to come from someone else, say like another woman.
Me? No.
Was you ever religious, Vic?
I am religious. Yeah. I'm Orthodox by nature.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, actually. 12 Apostles, Church of Christ.
Yeah, the Church of the 12 Apostles, that's right.
And how long have you been an Orthodox, Vic?
Since birth.
Really?
Since birth.
Wow. Yeah. I was for 2 years affiliated with the Jehovah's Witnesses. However, I've been a spiritualist all my life, and I didn't realise, and I just didn't feel that it was for me. Although I admire their spirit, their passion for Jehovah is quite immense, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Although many would say that they don't have blood transfusions, if a sibling was in need of a blood transfusion, they would refuse and watch their sibling die. You know, so you
Yeah,
can
there's
show
some
faith.
crazy laws.
They are passionate about Jehovah. And they also go around sharing the Watchtower and the Awake magazine, which they pay for out of their own money when they deliver it to your door free of charge. And they devote their time as well. So I admire their spirit for doing that. Yeah. And I don't really follow the Quran, to be honest with you, apart from like Muhammad was the Messiah, the messenger. Just like Christianity had Jesus.
Yeah.
What I've learned is that Christianity says like everything outside of the Bible, outside of angels, is actually evil. I've discovered that it's not exactly true. Like there's good and bad in
No, it's
all.
not true at all. It's not
Good
true
and
at all.
bad.
It's just what man's perceiving it to be. It's not true at all.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, Jim's right when he says that they're based on fear. It shouldn't be based on fear. It should be based on freedom and liberty and expression
right.
of
Right.
interest and stuff like that.
Was it you saying you've encountered angels yourself, Vic?
One or two. I had one here. That I encountered.
That's
They
right.
look.
As you replied to Candice, there's something to be found in all religions. There's an element of truth to be found in all religions. I believe that too, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. You can't rubbish all religion. There's an element
No,
of
you
truth in it all.
can't. No, you can't.
Although we have to bear in mind it's been manipulated. Your intuition is a compass to the soul. So like your intuition will actually guide you through the scribes. And you will decipher it yourself, what your interpretation of it is.
Candy says it should be based on unity. That's the key word right there, unity as a collective.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Candy. Unity. Well, Christianity is united, and if you're not a Christian, then you're not in the gang, are you, really?
Yeah, but Christianity's been broken up in a lot of ways as well. It's since Orthodoxy, then Catholicism, and it broke up into Anglicanism, went into all these other religions. It's broken up. It broke up over the centuries. It's not a unified church. There's multiple churches. Being multiple churches, how is it a united church? It can't be a united church.
This is what it about all boils down to. What David Nash is saying. What do you call an agnostic gentleman who is dyslexic and suffering with insomnia? A man who stays up all night wondering if there really is a dog. Candy said she's been learning a lot about Gnosticism.
Gnosticism.
Yeah, Gnosticism, yeah.
Isn't that what they believe in, aliens and stuff like that? It's part of their religion?
The Gnostic doctrine taught that the world was created and ruled by a lesser divinity, the demiurge, and that Christ was an emissary of the remote supreme of divine being, esoteric knowledge, of whom enabled the redemption of the human spirit. That is quite deep.
I'm Matt Tinkler, CEO of Save the Children Australia. Around the world,
David Nash says, I'll spank those atheists with my Bible belt.
clean drinking water. Conflict forced access his young brother Esme and their family to flee their home in Syria. They've been living in displacement.
Gnostics taught cosmological dualism, strict asceticism,
ASA's parents were able to get help for
and the existence of the divine spark in humans.
urgently need your help.
Yeah, because some say that Jesus is God, don't they?
Son of God.
They desperately
Yeah.
need to feel safe.
Candy says Gnostic have an interesting creation story.
.org.au/donate now. Thank you.
These little puppies really need your help because they can change someone's life.
Mhm.
Someone in the world could open up so much more with a seeing eye dog by their side.
God is known as the monad, the one. God is a high source of the pleroma, the region of light.
But not if we don't have the funds to train them. With your help, they could become a
It's
seeing
God is
amazing.
both. God is
it's-
everything. God is both dark and light.
Yeah.
because of Sadie. Ollie's got to trust in
Well, like if God created everything, God created Satan, Lucifer.
Then there's Eva. Loyal
God's an energy.
and Chris.
Yeah.
God is an energy.
An energy, that's right. Neither a he nor she, yet both masculine and feminine.
Yeah, it's an energy.
Yeah, it's a source, an essence, an energy, and your consciousness.
Right. It's an energy.
I believe if you put out positive energy, you get positive energy back threefold in the form of karma. If you put out negative energy, you get negative energy back in the form of karma. I wouldn't say this energy was empathic.
What dimension do you think God sits in?
That's quite difficult. I could say the seventh realm of heaven, couldn't I? Really?
Yeah, well,
Some
I'd say the 11th dimension, 12th dimension. Anything
Yeah.
over the 7th dimension loses bodies. You become energy.
I've heard, Vic, there's 14 dimensions,
Yeah.
14 realms.
Yeah.
Well, here's a good
You've heard
question.
that too?
I've heard
Here's
12.
a good
Right.
question. Why is it everything within nature is natural, but man himself?
How is man not natural?
Well, he doesn't have. He's natural because of his intelligence is unnatural, is what makes him unnatural compared to other species.
Candy Fowler says, fire from within. God is omniscient. And I agree with that.
In other words, why does a God have to play a role with humanity, but yet not with any other species? Why is it only humans concerned with a God or no God?
But where does God really interfere with humanity? Doesn't he just leave humanity to do its own thing? Isn't that half the problem? Where does God interfere?
Well, yeah, but the question is that did a God create man and everything else in the universe, or did man create the concept of God? That's the question.
No,
Well,
I think
God is
maybe
the sound frequency and vibration is the God.
Would it be safe? Would it be safe to say that all of the species get along perfectly well within nature without the concept of there being a God? My question would be, why can't man do the same?
If you look at it from a different point of view, like the purpose of life is to seek ascension, you can seek ascension through the God frequency. If you recognize it exists.
In other words, what makes man so passionate about a God compared to all other in existence around you? In other words, everything gets along perfectly fine within the harmony of nature, except for man. See, man's not good to himself. He's not good to his fellow man, even though he's got the intelligence to realize that he should be, and he knows better. He's competitive. He has no one else to fear but himself. And he's the only species on Earth that's detrimental to all other species.
Excellent. So what do you do? I'm married to her.
Yeah, but
And
I
that's
don't
the
think
one
any-
and that's the one that just happens to believe in a
Yeah.
God.
Man's always been curious before of understanding what's beyond him. Man's always been curious that we're watching space, watching the stars.
But
Is there a
but that's
God?
the point. The point is, it doesn't matter where you came from or where you're heading when you leave here. Where's the problem? Right here. You know, the more you ponder that side of it, and that side of it that at this point in time is basically irrelevant, you're not going to solve anything. What we're trying to solve is our current existence. So when you get a problem, you got to nip it at the bud. So that's got nothing to do with where we came from or where we're going to be heading when we leave here. The problem is in the here and now. So why don't we concentrate on that instead of getting sidetracked with all these other possibilities and beliefs and concepts and waiting for something else to save us when we should have the intelligence and be smart enough to save ourselves.
Yeah. They say some religions will tell you that God's not here to save you. God's here to help you help yourself. He doesn't interfere. He doesn't come in and say blah 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 la la la.
Well, there is nothing to fear but man himself. You're right.
Right.
I mean, what's the sense of fearing a devil and a God when we feel ourselves anyway? We fear ourselves anyway.
God's not to be feared either. Is Satan. I don't see why people fear Satan so much.
That's right, because technically God and Satan are one. They're one energy with two different polarities. There's no separation. We're each single entities with both inner polarities. So therefore, there will always be a struggle this way and that way with our concepts, which, by the way, only exist within our own minds of good and evil and right and wrong. No other species on the planet has to deal with it but human species. And yet we're supposed to be the most intelligent. You see, that's the part I can't figure out.
That's a Versace knockoff. And FYI, the only reason I took the button down was because Deacon said he didn't like it. But thanks for weighing in, Miss Blackhawk.
Well, it's been an interesting show. Thank you for joining us, Vic and Jim.
Yeah, we're about at the top of the hour right now, so I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you guys for being on the show.
No worries, anytime.
Thank you for your contributions, for your support, for sharing, for liking.
Okay, everybody, we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.
All right, cheers.